Hi there, today I'm going to show you how to set up your Gmail or Google Apps email account the best way on a Mac if you're using the Mail application. And there's a few benefits to doing it this way, so let's get started. The first thing you need to do is log into your Google account. Now, this could be just a normal Gmail account, or it could actually be a Google Apps account, which is where you get to use your own domain name for your email address. And because I work at a company that does that, I'm going to show you a Google Apps account. So we go to mail.google.com, and the first thing it's going to ask us to do is to sign in. So we sign in. To our webmail, to our Gmail webmail. Now it's important to do this because we've got to run through a few settings first just to make sure that we can connect it. Now note, when it asks if you want to do this, you actually want to say not now, and I'll explain why that is. It's because you want to change a few settings before your mail application first talks to Google. So to do that, you click on the little cog once you're logged in and click onto Mail Settings. What you then need to do is go into the forwarding and pop/IMAP tab and make sure that IMAP is enabled. It normally is, but you just want to make sure that it is. And then we want to go over to the Labels tab, and you'll see down the right hand side here there's a whole list of checkboxes which allow you to choose whether or not you want to show certain labels in IMAP, which is how we're going to actually connect to Gmail. Now the important ones over here is you want to turn these off. So let's get rid of that, all mail. It's basically this annoying Google label that has every email message sent or received in it, all of your archive and everything. You don't want to synchronize that to IMAP because most of those messages will live in inbox, and you'll get doubled up unread counts and that. I also turn off spam. Google's spam filtering is really, really good, but why would I ever want that on my computer? If I actually want to go and check for an email that I think might be in spam, I just log into webmail and search that way. But it means that you're not constantly caching all of that data over your internet connection. And I also make sure that chats is not ticked, and I untick important and starred. And down here in the bottom, I untick these three default labels that Google create for you because I don't actually use them anymore. Okay, so once we've done all of that, we can then sign out of our account and we're ready to go to Mail. So we open up Mail, and Apple by default will ask me whether I want to set up a new account. So I'll just fill my details in here. Now obviously if you're just setting up a normal Gmail account, you just put your normal Gmail address in this box. But because mine's a Google Apps account, that is, it's my own domain name hosted with Google's infrastructure, I put my full email address in there. And then I click on Continue. And Apple will go away and automatically look up and find out that mine is a Gmail account and set it up for me. Alright, now if you want to use your Google Calendar in iCal, you can leave this ticked, and if you want to be able to use Google Talk in iChat, leave those ticked. For now I will. And you'll see when Mail opens that we've got our new email account automatically set up with Gmail. Now I like to show the mailbox list here, and when I do that you'll actually see that my inbox is synchronized to Google. And after it finishes doing its first sync, you'll see some other things pop up here. But first, let's go into the preferences because we just need to change a couple of things in here. If we click onto Accounts, you want to make sure that you tick this little box down here under Outgoing Mail Server, because that means that it will never try and use, if you set up another email account down the track, it will never use one of the other email accounts as SMTP servers. Mail on the Mac can get a bit confused when you do that, so it's good to make sure that that's ticked. The other thing I always tick is that I untick this Show Notes in Inbox, because I don't like that personally, and I prefer to see the notes as a separate entry in the sidebar. Otherwise, everything else we can leave as is. We'll close that and save those changes. If you wanted to rename your account in here, just for the record, you can change that. So I'll change that here. Okay. Alrighty. Now, if you have a look on your left-hand side here in the bar, you've got your normal inbox and sent box by default, but you've also got this Your Cloud Specialist entry here, which is what I called my account, and that's got my Gmail IMAP labels in there. So if we click on that little arrow, it will show us these three boxes, and these are the three labels that we didn't turn off before when we were unticking the labels. And I'll show you why that is. It's because what we're going to do is we're actually going to synchronize your drafts and your sent mail and your trash to the server. So if we click on the drafts mailbox here, if we go up to the mailbox menu and choose use this mailbox for drafts, and then do the same thing with sent mailbox and with the trash mailbox, it means that all of your messages will be stored on the server, which is what we really want. So for example, if I now create a brand new email, and send it, that message will show up in my sent mailbox here, but will also show up in my sent mailbox on my Gmail server. So if you send a message from your webmail, it'll show up in your sent mail on your computer. And if you send a message from your computer, it will show up on your sent mail here. Now likewise, with the new Mail in Lion, Apple have created the ability to archive a message. So you can actually show a little button in here by customizing the toolbar, which with one click will let you archive the button. And I like that, so we'll turn that on. So if we collect these three new messages, because we don't want to read them, they're just welcome introduction stuff, we can click archive. And Mail will actually move them to a new folder on the server called Archive. And if that folder's not there, it will create it. And you can see in this case, it's created it. So that's actually a folder that lives on the server. And you can go in there and look at those. And it's synchronized over IMAP. And again, if you go back to your webmail over here, if we reload this in a minute, it will show up in this list here of labels. And likewise, if you create a new note, this note will also live in your left-hand bar. And now we're using Gmail the best way we can with the Mac Mail. Our notes live on the server, our archived messages are all working, and we've only got one set of inbox and sent mail. So anything you send from your webmail will show up on your Mac. I'll show you what that looks like. So if we hit send on that now, we'll see it in our sent mailbox, and when we load our sent over here, you can see that that message that I sent from the webmail is also there. And so that's the best way to use your Gmail or your Google Apps email with Mail on Mac OS X Lion.